Miu Miu used to be Prada's quieter little sister. Cool, but flying under the radar. Then suddenly, everyone was talking about it. From TikTok trends to runway moments, what started as a niche label exploded into a global obsession. The go-to brand for Gen Z, fashion girls, and street-style icons. But can it hold on to its magic when a cult brand becomes this big? Miu Miu went from Prada's quirky side project to the hottest brand in the world almost overnight. A micro miniskirt broke the internet. Ballet flats sparked a global wave of dupes. And now the brand faces a new danger. What happens when a once underground label becomes too popular? Because in fashion, the moment everyone wants in is often the moment the magic quietly starts to slip away. Scroll on TikTok for 5 minutes and you'll see it. Pleated micro minis, exposed waistbands, schoolgirl cardigans, satin ballet flats with fraying ribbons. Miu Miu isn't just a brand right now, it's an aesthetic. It's the girl sprinting for the metro in worn ballet flats and a tiny skirt. The student mixing a preppy sweater with underwear peeking out. A little bit ballerina, a little bit school uniform, a lot of, I didn't try, but I obviously did. Celebrities wear it on red carpets. K-pop idols wear it in music videos. Influencers wear it to get coffee. And even if you don't own a single piece, you probably know exactly what the Miu Miu look means. But here's the thing. This didn't come out of nowhere. The internet didn't just randomly decide to make one brand the face of balletcore, coquette style, and chaotic schoolgirl chic. Long before the viral skirt, long before TikTok, Miu Miu was doing something much stranger, much smaller, and much riskier. To see how we got here, we have to go back to when Miu Miu wasn't trending at all. It's the early 1990s. Prada is already rewriting what luxury looks like. Technical nylon, sharp minimalism, smart, slightly severe clothes for people who want to look like they read long essays for fun. But Miuccia Prada herself has another side. She likes clothes that feel wrong. Awkward proportions, clashing prints, pieces that look like they came from a secondhand store and a grandmother's attic at the same time. So she creates a new label and names it after her own nickname, Miu Miu. The first Miu Miu collections in the mid-90s are nothing like the clean, controlled Prada silhouette. A lot of "why does this work" energy. The fashion insiders notice. If you were plugged into that world, you knew. Miu Miu was for the girl who didn't want to look perfect, she wanted to look interesting. But it wasn't mainstream. There were no TikTok trends, no viral moments, no must-have skirt every teenager could name. For years, Miu Miu lived as a cult favorite. The label you recognized on a cool editor at a show. And honestly, it could have stayed that way. But Miu Miu had something quietly building in the background. A fascination with uniforms, girlhood, and the slightly twisted version of both. That obsession would come back later in a way no one expected. Through the 2000s and 2010s, Miu Miu kept evolving. The brand released soft, squishy 𝗲𝗍𝗍 bags that quietly became status pieces. Shows moved to Paris. Stores opened in London, New York, Tokyo, and Hong Kong. Miu Miu worked with actresses in campaigns, partnered with female filmmakers, and created projects that felt more like art house cinema than traditional luxury marketing. It was clever, it was respected, it had fans. But there's a big difference between being respected in fashion and being the brand everyone is posting, pinning, and obsessing over. For a long time, Miu Miu was the label cool people noticed, not the label the entire internet wanted to dress like. After almost 3 decades of existence, Miu Miu did something very simple. It made a skirt. Spring-summer 2022. On the runway, a model walks out in what is basically the leftovers of a pair of khaki trousers. And then things move fast. That look shows up in editorials, on covers, in campaigns. That skirt is more than a piece of clothing. It's an image you have to react to. People start debating dress codes, school uniforms, all sparked by that tiny strip of fabric. And somewhere in all that noise, something shifts. Miu Miu is no longer just Prada's odd little sister. Suddenly, it's the brand behind the image of the season, and that's only the beginning. If the micro mini skirt was the explosion, the ballet flats were the aftershock that never really stopped. Miu Miu takes the classic ballerina shoe, something associated with childhood lessons and simple outfits, and turns it into a fashion weapon. Soft satin or leather, delicate straps across the foot, styled with leg warmers, mini skirts, tiny shorts, always just a little too precious and a little too ruined. Suddenly, fashion has a word for it: balletcore. Miu Miu doesn't just ride that wave. It defines what the wave looks like. Girls start building their outfits around that feeling. Girly but chaotic, delicate but a bit unhinged. At the same time, Miu Miu doubles down on underwear as outerwear. Logo briefs peeking out, boxer-style shorts as daywear, bras and cropped knits instead of proper tops. It's risky, extremely internet-friendly, and it's instantly recognizable. You could see a blurry paparazzi shot from 20 meters away and still say, "That's Miu Miu." That level of recognition is powerful. Brands pay millions for it. But this isn't just about vibes. Behind the scenes, something much more concrete is happening. In the early 2020s, something shifts in the reports. Miu Miu's sales aren't just up anymore, they're jumping. Big year-on-year increases, strong double-digit growth. Analysts start pointing out that Miu Miu is suddenly doing a lot of the heavy lifting for the whole group. That viral micro mini and the ballet flats? They weren't just internet moments, they were making serious money. Every time something blows up online, two things happen. They sell the actual product, and they sell the idea of Miu Miu to millions of people who might never buy it, but will copy it, pin it, and keep talking about it. So you end up with a brand that's hard to avoid culturally, making real money, and still surfing this massive trend wave. Which leads to the next question. Who is Miu Miu really talking to? The Miu Miu girl isn't one type of body or one type of person. It's more how she comes across. She looks like she just threw something on, but nothing is actually random. The hem that's a bit too short, the cardigan that doesn't really close, and shoes that look beaten up but cost a fortune. Miu Miu plays with school uniform vibes, ballet, and a bit of breaking the rules. It's not the old idea of polished, perfect luxury. It's softer, messier, more self-aware. But the more people try to look like the Miu Miu girl, the less special she becomes. Every cult brand hits that awkward point sooner or later. First, a few people find it and feel like they're in on a secret. Then suddenly, it's the reference. And before you know it, it's the mood board for everyone else. That's basically where Miu Miu is now. You see fast fashion versions of the skirt and the flats everywhere. Pinterest boards full of Miu Miu vibes, made with pieces that aren't actually Miu Miu. YouTube and TikTok tutorials on how to get the look without the price. If everyone can recreate the look, what are you really paying for? And there's another problem. Your own success can trap you. Keep repeating the hits and risk becoming predictable, or move on and risk that people don't recognize you anymore. That's where the real pressure is now. It's not just how big can Miu Miu get, it's how long can they keep this up without breaking the magic. The brand can push its bags into true staples, turn those already popular sunglasses into signature pieces, build up outerwear and tailoring, and still keep that slightly undone, messy femininity people recognize instantly. The question isn't whether Miu Miu is hot. It clearly is. The real question is whether it can stay interesting. So that's where we're at with Miu Miu. The ex-little sister of Prada, suddenly center stage. If you could only pick one piece to buy, what would it be? The skirt, the ballet flats, the sunglasses, a bag. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.